Subscribe, like, comment and share to support the channel. Thank you for the support. Sounds of Damien's fist constantly hitting the bitch-ass Alistar's face could be heard throughout the forest of the dead. The female ninja continues to tremble in fear as she watches the clash of the titans. Damien continued to unleash his gigachat anger into Alistar's face, causing his mask to break into more pieces. It revealed an ugly side to him. It looked like Voldemort's head when he was attached to the professor's head. Damien continued to laugh off the pain as Alistar's tentacles continued to be stuck inside him. This is the painful version and not the hentai one, guys. As Alistar continued to be a punching bag to Damien, he wonders if this was really how he would go, but all of a sudden a red notification appears onto Damien's fist. It tells him that Alistar was attempting to self-detonate. Damien was alarmed to find this out as he looks at Alistar, who started to shoot out light beams from within his mask. Another red notification appears, telling Damien to please be careful not to die from the impact of the explosion. "This crazy," said Damien as he watched in horror as the bright light started to shine even brighter into his face. Alistar's mask began to have bubbles all over his mask as more light started to pour out. The entire area was lighted up as if fireworks from the 4th of July had started to appear. A massive explosion was seen afterwards that caused the waters to run rapid everywhere. Once the explosion was cleared, a lone figure stood in the middle of the lake by itself as debris continued to fall everywhere around it. The figure was revealed to be Damien, who had casted his zombification skill in order to endure and block the explosion from Alistar. "I think I thought of you too lightly," said a voice. This catches Damien's immediate attention as he looks to where it came from. He spots a figure in the skies moving around disgustingly. The black slime ball had revealed bright red glowing eyes and a creepy smile. "You bastard, come down right now, before I rip you to shreds," shouted Damien as he thought about how Alistar was still alive even after self-detonating and whether that was not his main body. Alistar took a moment before telling Damien that he would acknowledge this as his loss. Alistar continues to look down upon Damien, telling him that even though he didn't find out the identity of that inside of him, it was because he rushed too much. But regardless, even with Damien's strength, he couldn't avoid the coming dawn. The day the Messiah comes, Damien's fate, just like a shroud of dust, will go flying. Hearing those words coming from Alistar continued to anger Damien as veins continued to pop on his face. Alistar gave off a creepy smile and continued to talk. "On the coming day, I will sit on the Messiah's right side and watch your destruction, and I will become the spearhead that tells the gospel of this land's salvation." He then explodes again into a bunch of black goo that drops all around Damien and into the lake. Notifications appear telling Damien that he had defeated Alistar's other self, and that he had defeated the modified siren as well. He had finally gained experience and has reached level 44. Damien was annoyed as he kneels on the ground as his zombification has been deactivated. He couldn't believe that Alistar had disappeared after spouting such good-for-nothing nonsense. A red notification appears warning him that his body signals is more unstable than the threshold. It urges Damien to log out. "Are you okay, stupid master?" said Bundle as he rushes over to Damien's side. "Chirp chirp chirp," his siblings shouted with concern on their faces. More notifications appear, telling Damien that he had cleared the Karakoram Swamp quest. He has received the rewards from the Adventurer Guild's branch manager Hatsan. Another tells him that he has found a hint for Heresy's traces, while the last notification informs him to find his teacher Karon to find out more. Damien shrugs his body due to the pain. He knows that now wasn't the time to be happy for completing a quest as he had almost died, both in-game and in real life. He recalled the battle from before, stating that Alistar was the strongest opponent he had ever faced since regressing, and the one he fought wasn't even Alistar's main body. Damien continues to wonder about the identity of that bastard, but a sudden scream interrupts his thoughts as both Damien and Bundle turned around to see what it was. The female ninja was still sitting on the ground. She moved back slightly with her eyes closed as she trembles. "Don't come closer," she yelled out. Damien couldn't believe what was going on. He wonders what was wrong with her now. Bundle replies that he didn't know. The female ninja had finally stood up. She quickly ran away from Damien and Bundle shouting out, go away, you monster," but her clumsiness catches up to her as she trips and falls flat onto the ground. This brings a smile to Damien's face as he grins widely. He reaches out to her saying, "Good timing." The female ninja screams like a chick from a horror movie as Damien's hand reaches towards her, but all Damien did was simply flick her on the head. This catches her off guard as her face turned into a meme. Damien lectures her, telling the female ninja that he would really kill her if she chases after him again like she did just now. Bundle shouts at her as well, asking her if she got it. Damien turns to leave but tells her to go back obediently and to get some rest. The female ninja became even more confused as she wonders if that was all Damien had to say or do to her. A bright ring of light appears above Damien as he tells Bundle that they should get going. He had summoned the invocation of the Book of the Black Covenant. Damien had summoned the Bifrost like the one in Marvel to return him back to the village. The female ninja watches as Damien left her alone, but soon realizes something. She yells out loud to Damien that he should have given her back her weapon. Back at the Golden Lark lodgings located in the Terra Kingdom, "You're here," said a voice. Damien appears at the doorway with a stunned expression on his face. He was surprised to see his master here, who was sitting down while radiating brightly. Damien asks him about why he had entered someone else's room without permission, but Karon laughs it off, telling Damien that everything he had belongs to him as well. But Damien asks him why he was here. Karon tells him that he came here because he had a reason to. Bundle appears beside Karon annoyed. He tells him that he wanted food too and that if he eats all of it by himself, Bundle was going to cause trouble for the old man. Damien was relieved to see that Bundle and Karon were getting along well. As Karon finally gave Bundle some food, "Did you meet them?" asks Karon. He points a finger towards the rune of domination that Damien was holding onto. A notification appears in front of his face as he holds out the rune of domination in his hand. He tells Karon that he didn't just meet them, but that he had a close fight with them to the point that he almost died. Just what is Alistar's identity? Damien wondered. Karon took a moment before telling the Damien about them. He explains to Damien that Alistar was part of a group that calls themselves the Crucifix's Dawn. Their goal is to descend the existence that they worship as the Messiah to this land. Messiah? Damien questioned before asking Karon if they were some kind of cult. Karon gave off a serious look on his face. He tells Damien that they were a very dangerous cult. They were religious fanatics who believe that this world, which is ruled by the 6 gods, including the goddess of light, Arya, is a fake world, and that the world of the Messiah they follow is this world's real state. AI has come alive, guys. Damien thought about how he sees Karon as a religious fanatic too. He then questions Karon about who is the Messiah that they believe in. Karon replies with a question. "Do you know about the evil god?" Damien drew a blank expression as he wonders what the evil god was. Karon further explains that the evil god was a living embodiment of evil and a type of demon, the hidden monarch, the sinful saint, Big Fire, Six-Eyed Beast. He has a lot of names, but in the end, he is the first evil born. From the first evil born from the great god of darkness, Shaka. Balak was the demon's name. In ancient language, his name means, the one who annihilates, and he is an ancient evil who's been trapped on the other side of the world, unable to appear on this continent. Damien was taken back as he realized that shit had gotten real and that the scale suddenly got so much bigger. Damien thought deeply about the ancient evil, before realizing something shocking that came across his mind. He realized that all kinds of evil are rampant because of Shaka's absence, which meant that Karon was saying that the source of that evil was Balak. Karon nods his head in agreement and noted that his disciple wasn't that dumb. He also pointed out that the thing inside Damien and their origins are the same. This was alarming to Damien, as he recalled the demon king Abraxas, but Karon tells him not to be mistaken. He tells Damien that they simply worship the beginning evil that became rampant in Shaka's absence, and are mere robbers who only know a part of the truth of the end. They are Shaka's enemies. In other words, they are our enemies as well as our worst enemies' enemies. Damien was shocked to see that Shaka had so many enemies as Karon had only mentioned the goddess of light to be his enemy. "Are you complaining that we have more enemies?" asked Karon. Damien immediately turns into an angel and tells him no, thinking that he was a crazy old man who was quick-witted. Karon smiles and tells Damien not to worry. In the end, they rose using the twisted power of darkness, and are vermin who deny the gods and kill their creation. Their deterioration will become your bravery, and their subservience will one day become your strength, as long as Shaka's grace is with you. Karon yelled out as he grabbed onto Damien's hand, causing dark purple aura to spread all around. Damien became mad and annoyed, wondering what was going on as the rune of domination started to change. Lightning started to spark everywhere as he yells at Karon about what he was doing. Bundle immediately flies away from Damien. A glitched-out notification appears calling for warnings. Another states that an unfamiliar feel has seized Damien. Damien's veins started to pop and reveal themselves as whatever Karon did had taken an effect on him. An error report is seen on the notification window as most of its contents are blurred out. Damien thought about how he couldn't understand the feeling that was going through his body. Focus, Karon shouted. As I said, in the end, that is also the same darkness as theirs. You need to swallow it whole and take it as your nourishment. Damien's face was filled with pain as he tried his best to get a handle on the excruciating feeling that was coming all over him. He curses at Karon, calling him a crazy FING old man. Another glitched notification appears, telling him that a fragment of darkness is permeating inside of him. Damien shouts in pain even more as the core inside him started to unleash black lightning everywhere. The glitched notification informs him to focus on absorbing the fragment of darkness. The veins inside of his body had turned into a golden river. The notification finally gets back to normal, telling Damien that he had cleared the quest token of heresy. As the insides of his body began to change rapidly, another notification pops up, telling him that he had gained experience and reached level 45. The painful experience had finally come to an end. Damien kneels onto the ground, breathing deeply as his body was sweaty all over. Another notification appears, telling him that the items that were disabled due to his low level have been unlocked. More notifications appeared, stating that the Oracle and Rune page has been activated. Damien was surprised to learn this as he looks at the windows. His hand started to glow bright green as another notification informs him that he has gained the Rune of Greed Extorting Hand. Damien stares at his hand, all confused, wondering what this was. Was it a pattern, or is this a charm? More notifications appear. Even I'm getting sick of notifications. It tells Damien that the Rune page was opening. A book appears in the air in front of him. He looks at it in disbelief as it shined brightly. His eyes opened wide as he looks at what it was. He wonders if this was the Sephiroth's tree, but upon looking at it closer, he realized that it seemed a bit different. Karon wonders what the Sephiroth was but tells Damien that it was not that. He informs him that its name was the 7 Deadly Sins. They are Balak's subordinates and are the 7 evils of the beginning. Unlike Balak, who is trapped on the other side of the world, the 7 Deadly Sins undoubtedly exist in this world, planning certain things through their disciples, to bring him back from the other side. Damien wonders if Alistar was one of those disciples. Karon agrees and tells him that Alistar was one of the Crucifix's Dawn's 7 disciples, who received power from the 7 Deadly Sins. Damien thought about the name 7 Deadly Sins as he recalls having heard of that somewhere before. He finally recalls where he had heard the name 7 Deadly Sins. It was from Abraxas, the Lord of Abyss. Demon King Abraxas also had apostles named the 7 Demon Dukes. Damien wondered if this was all a mere coincidence. Karon tells him that from now on, Damien needed to defeat them one by one and absorb their powers. Damien figures that the Goddess of Light is hard enough by herself and wondered how long it will take for him to catch them all. Like in Pokemon, Karon tells him that complaining was useless, because if he doesn't want to catch them, they will come looking for him themselves. Both Damien and Bundle were surprised and shocked to learn this. Karon continues to explain that to them. This incident was nothing. If anything, they're simply aware of his existence now. He further adds on that Alistar wasn't even in his main body, and that all Damien did was bring them back up to the surface. Damien rubs his head in frustration over the new information he had been told. He yells out at Karon, asking him what would happen if he completes it. Karon tells him that he would earn power to match the lore of the other side. He lets out an evil smile and laughs, telling Damien that he would need to be careful not to be eaten alive by the thing that was inside of him. Darkness naturally consumes and is consumed to gain power. He then turns to leave, but laughs out loud once more before telling Damien that he was going to have a difficult journey from now. Damien agrees with him as it was thanks to a certain someone that kept throwing him onto death's doorstep. Karon hears those words and tells Damien, "Your tongue is like that of a snake's. Are you saying that my methods are wrong?" Feeling the anger and murderous aura from Karon forced Damien to take a prepared stance. Damien lets out his own aura to let the old man know that he wouldn't just stand by and suffer this time. But Karon was smiling as he realized that Damien had changed a lot from when they first met. Before leaving, he tosses something into Damien's direction and tells him to take it. Damien grabs it and asks what it was. Karon explains to him that it was an item that detects evil energy. If there is impure energy around him, it will respond, so he would know if they were approaching in advance with that. Damien smiles happily as Karon had finally given him something quite useful for once. Damien questions whether Karon was really giving it to him, but Karon disappears from the window instantly. Damien watches as he leaps away. He continues to watch him jump around the city, calling him a weirdo. Damien finally rests on his bed, glad that Karon was taking care of him since he was his teacher. He then takes a closer look at the item. It was called Tessa ring. It had the rank hero. It senses evil energy and glows red. Damien was alarmed to see how rare this item was. He thought that Karon was just a broke old man and questioned where he got such a precious item. Bundle asks him if the item was that expensive. Damien tells him that if he sells this item, he would be able to buy a sedan. Bundle questions him about what a sedan was, but Damien tells him not to worry about it. He then thought about how he had unlocked something else as well. He calls out for the rune page that appears right above him. A window appears about the rune of greed extorting hand. It states that when struck, a fixed amount of HP or MP is extorted. The rune page revealed black pages that contained writings and drawings of a hand in white. Damien was alarmed to see that the skill had changed from blood absorption to mana absorption. He was even shocked to see how OP his was and that it was only the first property. Isn't being OP good, stupid master? Bundle asked, but Damien wore a disturbed expression on his face. He knew that it was a problem since it was too good. He continued to think, if the first stage reward is such an OP ability, just how strong will the next opponent be? He looks down and wonders if he could really get them all by himself. But another window appears before him. It was a letter from Min Jun, telling Damien that he had arrived at the main continent, and asked where he needed to go. Thanks for watching the latest part from the voice of Manhwa. Subscribe for more content and don't forget to comment below what you want to see in the future. Like and share for more.